Alright lads, so today we are over on BBS Simulator to talk about some upcoming banners that might be returning in the month of November, but also going forward all the way till December, so you can potentially plan ahead in case you do want these particular characters. Now for the most part, this video is assumptions based on past events, predicting for the most part when certain characters are going to return, more so than 9th anniversary characters. The prequel with Mugetsu, part 1 with 9th anniversary Kenpachi and Gremi, and then also part 2 with Toshiro, Soifon, and also Sajin. All 6 of these characters are amazing, are definitely some of the highlights of the entire year, and maybe you missed them when you first started playing Brave Souls during the 9th anniversary. Maybe you're still going after them, and you might be wondering if you're new, when are they going to return? Well, their return is a lot sooner than you might think, because some of them might return this month. Now, the first banner to talk about real quick is Misaki and Isshin, right? It hasn't been data mined just yet, but these characters are pretty much guaranteed return this week. Misaki wants to be used in the second half of the Nightmare Guild Quest phase, as we are up against Ranger Sparta, and then Isshin is currently right now an optimal character in slot 3 for Limit Breaker. So starting by Thursday, at the earliest, we should be seeing Isshin and Misaki return. Will these characters be worth summoning for? That ultimately comes down to who's in the banner pool. But Isshin is still an amazing character, and Misaki does the job as a good character in the Range of Sparta GQ. More so when it comes to this upcoming Nightmare Guild quest, if you have a worked on Kenpachi, 9th anniversary Kenpachi, given his damage output, you can actually just use him to brute force his way through a Range of Sparta Guild quest. We've done that ourselves, and granted, I'm in a situation where I have a Max Transcended Kenpachi, but he actually out DPSs my Misaki that I own, which is kind of funny. But yeah, we should be getting data mines, we should be getting announcements in the coming days that these two characters are going to be returning. But next up, let's talk about Kenpachi and also Gremi, right? They are premium, you can get them from summon tickets whenever you want to, whenever you're lucky enough more so. But the first time these characters are going to return is in November, December, and January. It's 50-50 on who's going to return first, because they will be split up in 2 different banners. Now, the 2 type of banners that we are going to get is one, a Brave Fest banner. Now, these are basically banners that KLab used to rerun anniversary characters. You'll see here that Brave Fest only really ever feature anniversary characters and anniversary remakes. In this case, it was the only time they ever did it, to be fair, back in July of last year, where Renewed Okiura was in a Brave Fest. So that potentially means, by the way, that Mugetsu, the 9th anniversary renewed version, is going to be in a Brave Fest banner separate from Kenpachi and also Gremi. But what we're going to look at here is the dates, right? So you'll see here that 8th anniversary Ichigo and White, last year's anniversary characters, came out July 23rd. And the first time one of them returned was November 10th. So we could potentially see our first return of 9th anniversary Kenpachi or Gremi potentially by next week. At the very least though, maybe in the month of November, because if we go a year before that, you'll see here, right? Aaroniero had his first Brave Fest November 22nd. And then we had another Brave Fest in January. So from the looks of it, Kenpachi and or Gremi, it'll be one of them is going to return in the month of November, potentially early November, potentially late November, and then the other character is going to return in January. But since we are in a situation where we technically got 3 anniversary characters this year, for all we know, November could feature 9th anniversary renewed Mugetsu as a Brave Fest, December then could be Kenpachi, and then January could be Gremi. That's not confirmed, but likely all 3 of these characters here are going to get their separate Brave Fest banners. But if you are new to the game, you might be wondering, what exactly is a Brave Fest banner? Well, they've kind of lost their value a tad bit, because one of the special things about these banners, as you'll see here, is that you're guaranteed the character on step 20. For a while, for like a year or 2, this was the only banner with a pity ticket. More so pity step. You're guaranteed the character on step 20. Nowadays, every banner has pities, so it isn't as special, but it still is at a discounted price. In this case, only step 20, when compared to the main banners where you're guaranteed the character of your choice on step 25. The difference is, though, is that assuming this is going to be Kenpachi, right? It should only be Kenpachi in this banner. So you can't pull for Kenpachi and also Gremi at the same time. In a way though, the benefit here is that the character's individual rate should be higher. As you'll see here, the chance to get Ichigo is 0.7%. And that is the new norm for Brave Fest banners. So when Kenpachi or Gremi or Mugetsu return in their own Brave Fest banner, it should be with a 0.7% chance. So if you do decide to go all steps, chances are you might get the character multiple times. Let's find out. So in this case, we did 20 steps, we got a 5 out of 5 Ichigo. Now, of course, if you do 20 steps, it doesn't guarantee you'll get a Max Transcended Kenpachi, 9th anniversary Mugetsu, or Gremi. But if you are hunting for dupes of one particular anniversary character pulling on their Brayfest doesn't sound like a bad idea. Because you can think of this as an individual banner that every end of month banner does get besides anniversary characters, because like you'll see here, they eventually return in November, December, January in their own Brayfest. Now, we did see in June earlier this year that they did for the first time do a double Brayfest with both White and also Ichigo, and there's a small chance they do that for 9th Anniversary Part 1 with Kenpachi and Grimmy in the same banner, and if they do that, that'd be great. Again, you'll see here, the rate for a character is 1.4%, White or Ichigo, so 0.7% each. The rate for the other characters is 3.6, so with a 5% banner, depending on the amount of fillers, it could go up to 6, but when you're pulling on a banner like this, you're mainly pulling for the ideal characters, the anniversary units. So it'd be really cool if these characters could return in a Brayfest together, Kenpachi and also Grimmy, because that would make it even more worthwhile summoning. But the reason why I don't think that is going to happen, because while yes, we are going to get Brayfest, we are also going to get post elections. Now, these happen without fail every single year around December 23rd, December 25th. They've been earlier as of late, but this is a yearly tradition where we get to vote the characters to be in a banner. And it only features the best premium and seasonal characters released within the last year, which unfortunately in this case might make the banner a lot worse this year because they've gotten so many 1000 Year Blood War characters. So I am really hoping they can somehow throw in a few 1000 Year Blood War units to vote for. But the best part about post-election is that this is going to be your next best chance to get the anniversary units together. So what this does mean is that 9th Anniversary Kenpachi, 9th Anniversary Grimmy, and also Mugetsu are all going to be in this banner together, alongside some other great units. And I've seen it every single year. Some people, myself included, skip the Brayfest banners with the idea to try and get them, take the gamble, because you're not guaranteed them in this banner. It's a 7-step banner. I don't ever recommend going more than 6 steps, where you are guaranteed 1 5-star of these 12 characters that we do vote for. But I know a lot of people skip the Brayfest banner, at least the first one, maybe there was someone on the one in January, to someone on this banner right here, take the gamble and try and get dupes of multiple anniversary characters. In this case, Kenpachi, Grimmy, and also Mugetsu. So ultimately, when it comes to making the decision whether you want to pull on a Brayfest or you want to pull on the yearly post-election banner, it really comes down to which character do you own? Would you want duplicates of those characters? And do you have any of the characters max transcended? So in my case, for example, using me, right, I already have Kenpachi and Grimmy max transcended. I only have Ichigo 1-5 though, so I would love to get duplicates of him over Kenpachi and Grimmy. And if my only interest is Mugetsu duplicated, well, I'm better off spending my orbs on his Brayfest banner, assuming he does get one, over summoning on the post-selection banner where I could potentially get duplicates of Kenpachi and Grimmy, which aren't really going to contribute much to my account because they're already max transcended. But the main takeaway in terms of dates, one of them should return this month, either Kenpachi, Grimmy, or Mugetsu. One could potentially get one in December, and one will also get one in January, right? If you don't want to pull on the Brayfest, guaranteed though, around December 23rd onwards, we are going to get the yearly post-selection banner. Guaranteed Mugetsu, Grimmy, and Kenpachi are going to be in it alongside some other good units. Who will those other units be? Well, the cutoff point is around here, but again, it doesn't usually include 1000 Year Blood War units, right? So usually these swimsuit characters of any year is guaranteed to be in it, but given that these characters are classed as 1000 Year Blood War, again, no guarantee. I'm still hoping they can somehow end up being in there, because it would be great to have Menina, Candice, and also Bambietta featured alongside these great units, like Kenpachi, Grimmy, Mugetsu. By process of elimination, you can almost guarantee that Orihime, Okura, and likely Noritoro would be in it because they're some of the better seasonal characters released this year. Hardy Belt is quite a popular unit, a good unit too, good farmer. She might get voted into it. And then if we scroll down even longer, I believe the earliest banner that can be in this upcoming post-election is going to be the Halloween mid-month and also the Parasol banner. So likely even Parasol Rukia, despite having flaws, will also be in this upcoming banner. I think it's safe to assume they won't include 1000 Year Blood War, but who knows, they've been a lot more lenient on the limited status of 1000 Year Blood War units. We've had summon tickets with them, we had free singles, free multis with these characters, so I'm really hoping they can somehow throw in a few 1000 Year Blood War units, if anything, the swimsuit characters. But that only covers the first part of the anniversary, right? The premium characters. Now let's talk about the limited characters. So in this case, Sergeant, Toshira, and also Soifon, still great units obviously. More so of course Toshira and also Soifon, amazing fun to play units as well. They came out at the end of July, and usually when it comes to characters, limited characters like this, the general idea is that they return after 3 to 4 months. In some cases it could stretch to 5 months, but usually it's 3 to 4. So in this case, if they come out in July, we should expect them to also return, maybe this month or in December. But we can use past examples, so let's scroll down a tad bit and look at last year's banner as an example. So Yachlu, Genryusai, and Chojo were last year's Part 2 anniversary. They came out in July, and when exactly did they return for the first time? It should be around November, December. So there we go. November 24th is when these characters did return. So just based off of last year's timing, and this has been consistent for the last couple of years, to be fair, it does seem like we are going to get a kickstart of a lot of bait banners coming out as we get to the end of the year. Part 2, the anniversary, Toshiro, Soifon, and also Sajin have a pretty good chance to return this month around late November. And also at the same time, we're also going to start seeing some returning characters like Mugetsu, Kenpachi, and Gremi in Bravefest, and then they're all going to return in the post-selection banner around late December. Let's actually check the year before that in case there is an example of them coming back a tad bit earlier or later. So in 2022, for example, we had 1000 Year Blood War Yuhabak, Aizen, and also Genryusai. A really good banner, by the way. Character choice in here was absolutely amazing. And it was also the return of 1000 Year Blood War for those that weren't aware. We had like a year and a half without any 1000 Year Blood War banner, right? So these characters returned. They came out on the 31st, and they ended up returning December 3rd of 2022. So in the potential chance that Part 2's anniversary banner, Toshiro, Sajin, and also Soifon don't return this month in November, because it is going to be quite the stacked month, they likely will be returning in December, very early December, and that very well could be the case, because we also have Limit Breaker Quest right now, and within Limit Breaker Quest, they do occasionally use slot 2 and 3 as a way to promote a returning character, like they are doing right now with Ishin. So there's a possibility that next month's Limit Breaker rules, slot 2 and or 3 are going to want you to bring Toshiro or Soifon, hopefully Soifon because she's a better character for Limit Breaker, with her recharge in between stages. They might want to use Limit Breaker as a way to promote their return. In this case, likely they could come out early December, when Limit Breaker is active. But yeah, I think I went on long enough. Main takeaway, Kenpachi, Gremi, 9th Anniversary Part 2, Soifon, Sajin, Toshiro, and even the prelude to the anniversary with Mugetsu, they're all returning this month, next month, and the month after. But a lot of them will potentially return this month. So maybe, to be fair, I should have made this video a lot earlier. For those that weren't unaware, maybe you could have more time to save orbs, but now's the time to start saving if you do want them. They are, again, some of the highlights of the entire year. Some of the best units, some of the more fun, creative units in the entire game. And if you are fans of them and you want them, well, now, again, it's time to start saving. Hopefully, if you are done summoning on the end of month banner with Giselle and Bambi, all you have to look forward to now is saving for the next big banner. But remember too, with these banners returning, we are also going to be getting new characters alongside them, right? End of month November might be a pretty big banner. And then guarantee end of month December, the end of year banner, it's one of our 2 biggest banners of the entire year. And in terms of power creep, by the way, end of year usually is better than anniversary. This year, maybe not, because these characters are absolutely insane. But then again, even when we had power creep in the past that had like insane anniversary units, 5th anniversary, 6th anniversary, end of year still competed. So you might also want to see what end of year is first. And you might want to have also that too, because if end of year comes out with frenzy plus 3 characters, then high berserker and crazy skills like this and crazy EX attacks, double killer plus, you never know. You never know what the end of year might be. Maybe a new mechanic. You're going to want to have orbs to that. So be careful is the main takeaway, right? Big banners are coming. Big bait banners are coming too. Everyone together is going to need some orbs. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.